Welcome to Lazy BardCast. I'm David Williams, the current resident DM and guy trying to keep all of his notes in one place.
With the flashcard on his microphone. Hey, where's your attack twice card I made you?
Talgroff remembers. I'm Kyle Paquin. I'm playing Talgroff, the dwarf paladin who's obsessed with the Shield of Farangol.
That's a good way to put it. I'm Josh Yarnell, and on this super special magical day, I'm playing Orion Goodbarrel, who generally prefers his eggs soft-boiled.
I'm Kyle Dell. I'm playing Gideon, the human artificer, and a man who's lost in time.
I'm Sean Luke. I'm playing Maven the Monolith Smolderbeard, the most electrifying man of the sea.
If you like what you hear, be sure to look us up at the Lazy BardCast, where things are found.
Previously on the Lazy BardCast.
You met a friend by the name of Gideon after fighting a large astral golem. You made your way through a small area where there was a caged goblin who you all agreed to help. He said that he was going to be able to lead you further within Undermountain. Continuing through, you found a small goblin market where there was a man sitting atop a throne. Nearby this man was a dwarf chained to the wall, who Talgroff you recognized as a member of Clan Shield Flame by the markings around his eyes, but continued forward knowing that the ultimate journey was more important than accosting this entire group of people for one man. You made your way through a small laboratory where there were a scattering of notes and papers all around, and with the help of the small goblin that was leading you, Maven, you kicked him through the door after he had a few issues getting through it. When he landed face down, a few animated pots smashed in the back of his head. You all defeated the pots and kind of were standing in the room looking around at what to do. Now, Orion, you had found some eggs.
Paid good price for him, too.
You bought them from the goblin market.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
You bought them from the goblin market. It's been a minute. These large, I believe that they were speckled purple eggs that began to open and small tendrils were poking out of the top of this egg, and that is where we pick up this session. You just see small tannish tentacles pushing its way out of the top of this speckled egg and beginning to move pieces of the egg down the side. Orion holding it, you can see inside what looks like almost a larval creature with a mouth that is circular in orientation, rimmed with spiked teeth. You can see it kind of opening and closing, pulsing as it's kind of taking its first breath of life.
You guys, my egg's hatching. Aww.
As this creature continues to pull down the eggshells off the sides, you see what looks like a long larva, this tan larva. It has a number of almost like centipede-like legs down its side, and at the front of its face are all of these tendrils. You watch as speckled spots across its body begin to flash purple, and small spore clouds begin to form off of it, and you watch as they begin moving sentiently throughout the room. And I need a con save from each one of you.
Oh, man.
It's not poison, right?
No, it is not. It is a charm effect.
I don't think that does anything for me.
Okay, I don't think it does for
neither.
anybody here.
But I got an 18.
Pass.
10.
Fail.
11.
Fail, just barely.
9.
Fail.
Wow.
Okay, so Talgroff, Maven, and Gideon, you all fall unconscious on the floor as this gas enters your body, and you find yourself paralyzed and unconscious, falling over on the ground. Orion, you're now standing in this room as this strange little worm-like creature with all of these tentacles begins to push its way out of the egg, and we're going to roll initiative.
I'll save you!
Maven!
4.
17. So
almost.
Which is higher?
So you're going to get 2 attacks at you, one with its tentacles and one with its bite.
I'm gonna shield 1. Just instinctively
you,
as
you can know the roll before if you'd like.
Sweet, let's do that.
You're gonna shield one?
Yeah. It's
So
just a reaction.
It's
I don't know,
a
plus
21 to hit.
5. Hits!
And then if you want to use shield, you can.
Nah.
Okay. So I also need a constitution check from you, Orion.
Why'd I buy the egg?
I actually bought it for you.
A 19.
You only take 6 points of damage. from the tentacles as they slap against your face. You feel them trying to pull, but now you're holding this creature, trying to pull it away from your face, and it's gonna try and snap at you with that circular maw.
No.
16 to hit?
I instinctively just scream and go, no! And then I'll cast shield to block the bite from attacking me.
And as you successfully, for this round, make it through as you're struggling with this creature, you can also feel on your own back where you placed the third egg, you can feel your back starting to shift as that egg is now hatching as well.
I'm going to drop my pack as I feel it hatching, and I'm going to try to distance myself from the pack for the moment, and I'm going to pull out my rapier. I guess it's on you, Orion. You are the leader. And then I'm going to make a stab, and I'm going to try to stab the one that just tried to bite me, the one that was like right in my face.
Go for it.
23 to hit.
Yeah, definitely hits.
5 piercing.
Okay.
Pretty good for minimum.
So grabbing onto this creature with one hand, you take your rapier and you like really far back with one arm. You go to start kind of shanking this thing, but kind of carefully you kind of poke into it.
And then as a bonus action, I want to look over at my friends on the ground, and I'll look over at Maven, and as I cast Healing Word at first level, I'll say, I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah. Maven, are you missing any hit points?
Well, I think I am.
You heal for 6 healing.
Okay. And make a perception check for me, Orion.
27.
20. Wow. Okay.
Perception?
Yeah, I have a plus 10.
So you... So while you're healing, magic connects, you still see this smoky spore essence floating around their face. However, for a second, you hear the faintest sound of footsteps approaching. You hear something obviously trying to be quiet coming down the hallway that you had just entered this room from.
I'll use the rest of my movement then to just distance myself from the backpack that I dropped.
Yeah, you take a few steps back, still holding this carrion crawler at as much of a distance as you can from your face, as its tentacles are still trying to wrap out and grab onto you and pull you closer so it can snatch at you.
They want a little smoocheroo.
So that's a dirty 20 to hit.
Hits.
Okay. I need another Constitution save.
Oh boy. Really good. 19.
So you take 8 points of poison damage as these tentacles slap onto your face, and you feel like small needles like piercing your skin just a little bit. And while you're able to fight off whatever condition it is that they're trying to put into you, you are unable to fight off the effects of the damage. You also watch as your backpack now, tentacles break out of the top, and you watch as it starts pulling away at the tie that holds your backpack shut, and the tie breaks open, and another crawler makes its way out of the backpack. And right at the start of your turn, you hear the sound of a bow being pulled taut.
While holding the creature, I'm gonna look towards where I hear the sound of the bow. I know you're there, I hear you! Shoot this thing!
You hear no response, but you do hear the footsteps stop moving.
While holding this carrion crawler, I'm gonna rush towards the footsteps, my full speed.
Okay. As you begin running, you hear the sound of an arrow being released, and you watch as right in the doorway, an arrow appears out of nothing. And as you're going to turn, you watch as the arrow goes right in the nape of your neck, like right by the side of your neck, and directly into this carrion crawler with an incredible precision. And looking back for a double take, you don't see anybody standing in the doorway. You hear you owe me.
Yeah, sure, I'll owe you too if you get this other one.
It's now your go.
I'm gonna yell over to where I heard the you owe me, and I'm gonna say, I'm coming! As I cast Thunderstep to as close to where I heard that sound as possible.
Okay.
Which will teleport me there and deal damage upon leaving to this
Upon
creature.
leaving, okay.
Yeah.
And that is a con save, strength save?
Correct, Constitution.
Misty Step with damage. So good.
That's 7.
So that's a failure. And then I will roll my damage for 8.
Wow.
Oh, that was bad. 10 thunder damage.
Okay. As you reappear in the doorway near the voice, you clatter against someone that you can't see. As you realize whoever's standing in the doorway is invisible, and you hear kind of a grunt from them, and you feel his bow as you're now clattering against him, and you hear the sound of a thunk as his arrow just shoots against the wall to the side.
I'm going to wrap my arms around their body if they're not too wide, and I'll just clasp together and go, "Ha! I found you."
You feel a very slender figure. You feel what feels like a cloak on the back and leather skins on the front. But other than that, it's very hard to discern anything from an invisible figure.
Can I try to grapple them? I suppose I don't want them to move. I want to hold them as tight as I can.
Is Thunderstep a bonus or action?
Oh, it's an action.
But it's an action?
Yeah.
So I'd say for this turn, you're unable to try and grapple him, but you're like holding on to him. Nah, just freaking grapple him, man. What the hell? That's stupid.
You're hugging him, but not with intent.
Just roll high. 11. I got a 28. Holy crap. As you feel this figure slip from your grasp.
No, don't go. I help my friends.
Okay. Is that it for your turn?
Yeah.
Okay. At the end of your turn, you hear a, remember, you owe me. You and your friends. And you hear retreating footsteps. So now the start of the carrion crawler's turn. It's going to begin shambling its way up to you, but you can see that this creature is very slow, especially as a newborn. You imagine you could outrun this creature pretty easily. And so over the next, one round, you're able
kite around the room over
you're
and
able
over
to put
again,
this creature down with
shooting
1
firebolts.
HP remaining.
Okay.
And you're now left in a room. You hear the retreating sounds of footsteps. You could follow if you would like, or you can remain with your unconscious companions.
Yeah, I want to go over to Maven, and where I see the spores around his nose and mouth, can I cover his mouth with my hand and maybe plug his nose and see if that wakes him from a stupor for a moment, or if he suffocates, or I don't know.
Sure, yeah, you go over and you do that to him, and Maven, you do come to consciousness. You
Can I just open my eyes like I want to kill whatever's in front of me?
Yeah,
just
totally. You see the look of Maven wanting to kill someone, which you've come to know as a friendly glance.
Yeah, as soon as I get that deathful glare, my heart starts pumping again, and I get a big old smile. I go, yes, I'm the best!
You also watch as the other companions wake up as the carrion crawler who was responsible for the spores is now dead.
Oh, boy.
Talgraf's gonna wake up and slowly get up with a pained face and look around to his comrades and the kind of guts of whatever creatures this is, and ask, do you think these things are some kind of hallucinogen or make you dream crazy things? Because I don't know about you guys, but I've had some weird vision.
Talgraf, as you motion to the creatures asking this question, you watch as the purple spots on its body, from them begin appearing eyes, reminiscent of what you saw on Valith's corpse. You watch as these eyes begin to open and look around, and you watch as almost like small sparkles form around the eyes, almost like a fun apparition. It's like something's trying to have fun, and all the eyes blink, also reminiscent of what you saw on the
Manticores.
on one of the Manticores that spoke to you, very reminiscent of that. And then all the eyes close and suck into the corpses, and the bodies disintegrate to ash.
Did you see that?
And all of you see it.
What was that?
That was a crazy monster that almost killed all of you guys, but I saved you all. I did it. I saved you all.
Oh, well, thank you, lad.
Yeah, anytime.
Appreciate.
I'm pretty sure that those things are called carrion crawlers.
Ew.
And last I remember, at least, they don't have that many eyes.
I feel like we've seen that before down here somewhere. I can't quite place it.
It happened to one of the members in my old party right before he turned into something else and then exploded.
So
Is this a pattern we should be worried about?
Yeah, I've been actually meaning to ask you. We kind of came into a really weird situation with Big Red and all those goblins, and you had Korvac, he ran at this guy who was apparently part of your crew, and he said he killed him or something, and
He did.
And now you're saying that another guy was a part of your crew, and then he exploded, and
Yeah, that entire crew has died.
well, that's sad. It's just all of your friends
hurts
seem
to
to
hear
die
out
in a
loud.
really inconspicuous way, and should I be worried about it exploding? That's pretty much what I'm asking.
So far, I know 2 people that have exploded. So
I gotta say,
ridiculous
I
I'm starting to freak out a little bit. You know, I felt like I'm made of tougher stuff, but this is not what I've seen in my journey.
So this is what Korvac was talking about. This is what the drow was talking about the, as Korvac would say, the purple squid things. Those are what do it.
Oh, I see.
We fought one. I mean, none of us got hurt, but we were definitely outclassed when we fought him. They seem to know where we're at. I don't know if that's still kind of going on, but they're definitely watching us, and they're in the know of a lot.
I don't want to get too sentimental, but as a man that's experienced many losses in his day, how are you, Maven, doing? As you just said, you've lost everyone that you've been in a party with for however long now. That takes a toll.
The first 2 died very quickly, and we just had so much to do that it just kept going. Then someone else died, then someone else. I wouldn't say I carry them with me. I do my best to make sure everyone is alive. That was a mistake with Valeth. I kind of am still trying to find a balance between life and death, because that just did not work out with Valeth. It definitely made things worse.
Him dying or him being in the party?
Him coming back from dying.
So that's now, to me, sounds like you've had 2 people that have come back after quote-unquote dying.
Yeah, those 2 were different. I don't know what brought Click back. That was something else. With the help of my god, I brought back Valeth, but man, you're not going to like this tall graph, but almost my god was compromised too from these purple squid things. So I found a new god, one that's not such a pushover.
Well, you did good on that.
Now, as you're all kind of talking, looking around, you can see that this kitchen area where there's still the corpse of the goblin who you all quote-unquote assisted, and a scattering of broken cast iron pots. There are also a number of small red crystals that are glowing along the roof, and you can see in the next room that appears to grow slightly brighter.
Talgraf is going to turn back to the doorway we came into and say, you know, it's starting to seem like maybe we need a little more support, especially down here. Maybe we should go back the way we came a little bit and find that other dwarf we saw. I mean, I wasn't planning to leave him out to dry, but I wasn't about to just make a whole scene in front of everyone. That'd be dumb.
How do you want to play that?
That seems pretty ballsy.
Well, just maybe we make some sort of inquiry. I mean, I didn't expect that little fellow here to just kill himself so quickly.
Yeah, maybe while we go find that dwarf, we can find that other guy that helped me kill the squid things when you guys were dying.
What guy?
What?
Oh, well, it wasn't like the imaginary friend I had when I was younger, but it was totally like an invisible dude. He called out to me, he shot arrows, and I touched him. He got away.
You touched him?
Yeah, that's how I knew he was invisible. And right before he left, he said, "Remember, you owe me. You all owe me."
Ooh, I don't like that at all.
So we got someone to count on.
Well, who was he?
I don't know. I didn't ask.
Does this sound like a good time to you? Owing favors to shadows.
Well, he helped me here, and he helped me help you guys, and this is a pretty amazing adventure so far, Mr. Gideon.
I just look over at Talgroff and Maven.
So what's your plan?
We can just go over there and maybe ask him about him, or...
At this point, you all hear a familiar voice. You hear, "Ah, magic! Fire explosions!"
Can I start moving towards that direction? And as soon as I get somewhat close, I want to jump super high in the air with my new boots and land on him.
Okay. Let me make a roll real quick.
3 times the jumping height.
I rolled a natural one. So as you move into the room, you can see a long marbled floor that there's all these crystals on the ceiling that are like pulsing. As you see Ook with his hands up to the ceiling, and as he's saying these words, you watch as the ceiling like pulses, and there's all these stalactites hanging down the center of the room as well. And he sees you running towards him. If you want to roll like 2d6.
5.
So you stomp down on him and he and stops moving underneath your feet as you've killed Ook. As you're standing on him, you watch as one of the stalactites from the ceiling, you can see a tentacle hanging from it that begins to make its way in your direction.
Like a cave leech. I'm gonna pick him up and then jump out.
Okay, yeah. You pick him up. Make a contested initiative check.
With Ook's dead body.
That's gonna be a 16.
Near the center of this room, one of the stalactites at the ceiling, you can see a number of its tendrils hanging down the sides of the wall and all reaching out towards Maven. So, Maven, there's going to be 4 attacks coming at you.
Alrighty.
First one is a natural 1. The second one is a 22.
That hits.
Third one is an 18.
That misses.
And a 23.
That hits.
Okay, so 2 hits. I need 2 grapple checks.
The first one is a 27. The second one's a 23.
Okay. Yeah, they both pass as these tentacles go to wrap around your feet. You're able to slip out from them trying to grab onto you. At the same time, you hear the sound of walls, like stone sliding on stone, as 2 ballista at the end of this long hallway chunk into place on either side. And there's also going to be 2 attacks coming in.
What the hell? What is this place?
You see orbs of fire forming at the front of the ballista where there's no arrows, and you can hear the tension on them pulling back harder and harder. 1 bolt of fire is a 22 to hit.
That hits.
Okay, and the other one is like a 9.
That misses.
I need more d10. You take 17 points of fire damage as one of the ballista connect with you. Maven, there are the 2 ballista on the ground over there, the roper on the ceiling that is reaching out with its tentacles to grab onto you. It's your go.
I want to pick up that goblin
Totally.
and then jump out.
Okay.
And I'm gonna cast Spare the Dying on him.
Okay. Yeah, you cast Spare the Dying on him. You find purchase with that.
Okay.
Seems like he's...
I'll just leave him there. I'm not gonna be gentle
not
about it.
dying
I'm just
at the
gonna
moment.
drop him to the ground, kind of.
He's got a rough life.
Okay. Anything else?
Yeah, I'm just gonna look to them and be like, it's not good in there. It's 2 catapults and 2 ballistas and something on the wall, on the ceiling. It's terrible.
And we have to go that way?
I mean, we don't have to. Although I wouldn't stand by that door. I don't know how big their tentacles are.
Well, I got a little bit of fight left in me. That last one, saving you all in the last room, that wiped me out pretty good.
Good job on that, by the way.
You'll never know.
So, who is this guy?
We just ran into him earlier. He knows stuff. Can I jingle him too?
What do you mean? Just like wiggle
Yeah.
him around? Yeah, you kind of wiggle him around. His corpse kind of like...
Do we hear a coin purse?
Yeah, does he have any?
I
Does I
think that's
hear
what he was
anything?
getting
He
at.
does not. You do not hear a coin purse. Searching over his body real quickly, you do not see any coin purse.
So what do you guys want to do?
So we're moving forward with whatever it is that's in there. Are we going backwards to whatever it is that's back there?
Yeah, I remember Tallgraph saying like a whole bunch of times, always forward.
Yeah, dwarves go through things.
Can I just like peek around the corner just to see?
You peek into the room and you can see this one stalactite on the ceiling. As you come around the corner, it's slowly crawling across the ceiling, and as you come around the corner, thunk, kind of stops in place and stops moving, and you can see the tentacles just kind of like waving out towards you. Looking in the room, you can definitely see the 2 ballista at the end. They don't appear to be doing anything at this point. You see small flames at the end of each one of them where there would be an arrowhead. It's hard to make out if there is actually an arrow attached to it. But looking at the thing on the ceiling, even after you've taken your eyes off of it, looking back up at it, it's hard to discern it from the other stalactite on the ceiling. It seems that this thing is impeccable at camouflaging itself. You do also make out the large double door at the end of this hall is very ornate in its decoration, and standing guard on either side are 2 large dwarves, nearly 20 feet tall. The ceiling in here is almost 40, 50 feet tall, and these 2 large dwarves, they have like large stone protruding beards out of heavy armor, and they each
So
have
they don't look like statues.
they each have a
look
sword
like...
and a shield. They do look like statues. Like it's a stone beard that they have, but they're just standing next to a very ornately carved door.
Just to add way more horrible things to the room. Also, 2 20-foot giant dwarves in heavy armor. Good luck.
So how do you guys want to play this? How about I turn into a bat and I cause a distraction, and you guys kill everything else?
This one's got a lot of spunk, and I'm not sure if I should be excited or worried.
It's not a bad plan.
It's worked out so far.
I'm wondering maybe if you have something a little more useful than a bat.
Not at the moment.
Gideon, does an 18 hit your armor class?
That is my armor class.
Okay. So with the Roper's 10-foot movement speed, and while you guys are talking, you feel a tentacle wrap around your ankle, and he's then going to reel you in his direction. So you splat down your face, and you just get drugged 25 feet. You're now being dangled probably 10 feet up in the air at this point, wrapped around your ankle, and you hear the sound of the ballistas creaking tighter as they're loading their shots. All of you in the middle of your conversation, you just watch as Gideon gets sucked to
Quickly while the ballistas are reloading.
Gideon, I'll say it's your go first as you're being ripped into this room.
Good thing you wanted to go forward.
I want to basically try to reach up and grab it with my gauntlet and kind of use that as my melee strike with my thunder gauntlets I basically have.
Okay.
It's an 18 on the die. 25.
Yeah, that hits the tendril.
So that's going to be max damage.
Still gotta make a thing for that.
8 points of thunder damage.
One of these days.
And it's got disadvantage on attack rolls against targets that aren't me.
And if you could describe what it is these thundering gauntlets look like.
As I go to grab it, you see my cane that I had. There's a crystal on top of it. As I go to grab it, you almost see a crystal on the edge of my hand that kind of glows as well. And this goes kind of surge of thunder damage that kind of goes through the the hand.
Yeah, you watch as it connects with the tendril, and it kind of shockwaves halfway up, and you watch as the creature, it starts sloughing off that tentacle, letting it go almost like a lizard's tail.
Oh, that's unsettling. As I'm hanging from this. So as I'm grabbing it, this is with my amputated arm too. Mm-hmm. I'm going to reach up with my hand, and I'm almost going to press down the crystal jewel that's on my hand, kind of like reset it, and I'm going to do another pulse.
Sure, yeah. Roll it.
You've got a hook.
Same roll.
Yeah, totally.
Hook hand.
10 points of thunder damage.
Okay, you watch now as the creature completely separates that tendril from its arm, and you thud to the ground.
Oh, Orion, cast hold person.
You take 1 point of
Didn't
damage
work
as you
last
fall.
time.
It still has disadvantage
And
on...
the tentacle writhes and releases your leg and stops moving.
Ow, I'm very heavy. I hit the ground pretty hard.
It was a thud.
Yeah, you hear it for sure. But that'll be it.
You also see the ballistas now and hear them creaking as they're pulling back and adding pressure to that. Maven, it's your go.
Okay, so I'm going to move into the room a little bit. I'm going to cast Spiritual Weapon. I'm going to tag my hand down, and my partner comes out. I'll put it right on him.
Yeah.
And then I'll also cast Sacred Flame.
Okay.
On
Do the sacred weapon damage as he's trying to give him the people's elbow.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20 just barely hits.
It's going to be max damage for 8 damage.
Max damage.
Okay. Nice.
And then it's a dex save
Got you guys.
for the
I still want Grunt birthday
other
party.
thing.
Yeah.
Sacred Flame.
12.
Fail.
Okay. Roll damage.
That's going to be 5 damage.
5 damage.
And then Maven's going to move back into the room and be like, get up.
Talgroff or Orion, whichever one of you would like to go next. You're up.
Whoever's the strongest.
Talgroff, go. I saw both of you like...
Talgroff is going to just run out and make a go for the ballistas.
Okay, so you start running out. Make a history check, Talgroff.
As everybody does when they're running at ballistas. I think I remember these things fire at people.
10.
So looking at these ballista and what's directly behind them, taking in your scenery, these two large dwarves on the wall, you don't recognize what clan they're a part of, but they definitely look familiar to you.
Okay, cool. Talgroff is going to go his full movement and I guess dash as well.
Yeah, and you run past the corpse in the center of the room, and it's obvious, like, skeleton corpse. Been here a while. You can see balled up pieces of paper in her arms, what looks like a pouch with... It looks like a money pouch that she's holding. And there's, like, a charred marking on the floor around her, where you imagine she was probably decimated by ballista. Orion, here you go.
Prepare for Bat Bard, and I'm gonna grab the edges of my cloak.
Oh, you have that?
Oh, yeah!
I thought Talgroff had that for some
And
reason.
assuming we're still in dim light, correct?
Yeah, totally.
I lift off the ground and I begin to fly through the room towards the ballista as fast as I can. I'm gonna dash to do it, and also I'm gonna look down to Gideon. I'm gonna say, "You got this, Gideon. Bat Bard believes in you." And I'm gonna cast Bardic Inspiration. And I have a fly speed of 80 feet, so I think I can get all the way to the ballista. I want to get behind it.
Yeah. Make a perception check as you're flying.
Perception check, 16.
God, what's gonna happen?
The ballistas can't shoot all of us.
You begin
Especially not me. I'm in the other
take
room.
off into the room, Orion, and taking to the heights to get closer to these ballistas. As you're flying by, Orion, it chomps down on you. I rolled a 25.
Oh, God, if it eats you, bro.
Boy, I should turn into a bat. It has flyby.
So you was fired up and then you got eaten right after.
It's like Deadpool 2.
Oh boy.
19 points of piercing damage.
Can I?
Not take that?
Yeah. So 19 points of damage, eh?
Yeah.
I use my reaction to cast Hold Person.
I go Bat Bard, and I fall.
Oh no, you're unconscious?
Oh yeah, big time.
Okay, so you don't fall.
Oh, it grabs me.
Oh, that's way worse.
Because he bit you. Oh God, Orion. As you fall into unconsciousness, you feel the jagged teeth biting into your sides as this creature begins consuming you.
Uh-oh.
The amount of player deaths Dave has done in this game.
I wonder how many of us saw that.
It's now the enemy's turn.
Chomps on you like a carrot.
Is this inspiration?
One of the
Yeah.
ballista is going to shoot at Talgroff, so I'm going to do that one first. The small flicker of flame in front of the ballista, pretty close to in front of you now, Talgroff, lights up, and a large streak of fire shoots out and just shoots over your shoulder as I rolled a 9 to hit.
Lucky.
The bolt against Gideon. I'm rolling so high on the people with low health. 24 to hit.
I don't have low health.
Oh, you don't? Good.
No.
Okay,
I
cool.
haven't actually been touched yet.
Perfect. So 24 to hit.
That hits.
So 10 points of fire damage as this other ballista...
I'm dead.
As this
a
other
bluff and he
ballista
called it.
pulls back, the bolt of fire connects with you and just beats into your chest, burns away some of your like cloth coverings that you have on the
Cloth.
front of you.
Plate armor.
Now the one I'm scared of, Ryan, with advantage because you're unconscious. So I didn't roll great. 17 to hit.
Armor class is 14, yeah.
Okay. Since it's a melee attack, it's a crit because you're unconscious, which is 2 death saves. Failed. Okay.
Ruh-roh.
To the top of the round, we go to Gideon. You've now watched as Orion came around the corner, said, Bat Boy,
Bat Bard believes in
Bat
you.
Bard believes in you, and then took off and got chomped by the thing on the ceiling.
Is Orion's like leg or arm hanging out at all, or is he like consumed?
he's not like inside. He's just like the thing's like gnawing on him.
Okay.
Like a dog chew toy or something.
I'm going to call Artie, and I'm going to gesture up at the roper, and I'm going to have Artie cast one of my spells at it. So I'm going to try to have Artie go right up to the base of it with a similar crystal that's kind of inside of it, light up, and it's going to cast Thunderwave at the base of it.
Okay.
With attempts to either drop it or.
So do
bring
you
it to our
want to
level.
focus on the stone the creature is holding onto, or do you want to focus on damaging the creature?
I'm going to go creature because I feel like by default that's going to be my initial reaction.
Okay.
So I need the roper to make a con save.
Really bad.
That's what I like to hear.
That's a 5.
That actually means double damage.
On that roll specifically. Orion comes back to life when you roll a 5.
Oh, that's a spell says
That means it heals everyone as well.
Yeah, it's like wild magic, man. It's weird as hell.
Crazy.
it's 11 points of thunder damage, and it
Wow.
is pushed 10 feet away. So if I could, I'd love for it to be 10 feet away from the roof.
So as your thunderwave connects, you watch as the being begins to separate from the ceiling, and you see all these small, almost like hooked feet that are stuck into the ceiling and dug their way in. You watch as your thunderwave breaks away all of the spots it was holding onto, and the creature begins to fall the 50 feet off of the ceiling.
If it's above me, I'm going to step a couple feet away.
Sure, yeah.
No, it's above
You
Orion.
totally
Don't
can.
worry.
Yeah, you watch as its tentacles begin to flail. You also watch as the tentacle that fell out of its body starts to like grow back because I forgot about that. Maven, you heard Orion run out there, yell, "It's Bat Bard!" and then immediately heard his screams and the chomping of broken bones, probably.
I'm going to healing word Orion.
As you step out into the room, you see a figure you didn't see originally. You see a dark-skinned elf standing beneath the roper, beginning to cast a spell. You see him pulling bits of white from one hand and pulling it into his other hand while he's looking up at the roper.
The roper hasn't fallen yet?
He's in the process of falling.
Okay. I'm picturing Velcro is the first thing that I saw when you said like hooked feet.
Yeah. Yeah, he has. You see the little square stuck on the
little
ceiling.
Well, I mean, they're hooks and loops. I'm just picturing little like.
I'm going to kind of look at him and be like, just shake my head and still heal Orion.
Okay.
Damn it, boy. And just
Boy.
Come on, boy.
Boy.
max healing for 8.
The jobs of life!
And then I'm going to Sacred Flame as he's falling.
Sure.
The
Totally.
giant one.
That's pretty bad. 4.
That's a fail. 13 damage.
Nice, dude. You sacred flame this creature as it's falling, and as your sacred flame connects, Orion, you begin to feel very light. And as you look towards the ground as you're falling, you see a figure wearing a long silk robe in the back and leathers. He stretches out this magic in your direction. You feel your falling begin to stop as you're pulled out of the creature, and you're now held in the air as this drow is concentrating.
Castle person.
As this drow is concentrating on some sort of magic pointing at you.
I owe you one!
Can I also, as my movement, jump towards the drow?
Sure.
Not on him.
Sure. Sure. Yeah, totally. And in response, Orion, he says, you actually owe me twice. Talgroth, it's your go.
Talgroth is going to run up to the ballista in front of him, and he's going to give it a quick appraisal and see if it can be easily turned.
It looks like the ballista are actually on wheels.
Okay, great. Talgroth is going to run over. He's going to turn the ballista towards the other one
Yeah.
and just say, shoot it.
Yeah, you easily enough, almost no effort, turn the ballista in the direction of the other ballista, and it sits there for now.
I'll go this one. Point it at the other one. How's everything going over there?
He's like, I got it. And looking over, you can see a drow who is concentrating on magic, and now Orion is floating in the air as this roper is crashing to the ground. Orion, you're now suspended in the air, being held by magic as you're kind of floating, and you're definitely in control of your body, but looking down, there's like gashes all over your chest where you're just chomped up.
Good work, mystery man. You can let me down, help one of my other friends. And then I'll cast Bardic Inspiration on him, and I'll grab onto my cloak. So I have a fly speed again.
Okay.
I'll go next to Talgroth and help him with the ballista if he needs it.
Okay.
Since that was my original intention.
Sure. Sounds good. All right, Roper's turn. He's going to take 50 points of falling damage.
That was good roper RP right there.
So the roper smashes into the ground. You see bits of it like scatter off of its body. It's still alive and squirming around, but it's now righting itself on the ground so that now it's a stalagmite as it's growing towards the ceiling.
Oh, that's
And its
funny.
tendrils continue to scoop around the room. There's going to be one on Gideon, one on Maven, one on the Drow, and another one on Gideon. So Gideon, the first one, yeah, wow. So the first one is a natural 20, and the second one,
Likes killing my characters.
I mean,
Something
to be
like
fair,
that.
it is fun to kill your characters.
the second one is a 22. As they don't do any damage, but they are wrapped around you. Maven, the one against you, of course I rolled terrible, a 10.
That's going to be a negative.
And then against the Drow, I also rolled pretty good. So one
think I'm
of
good.
them wrap around the Drow, and both of you simultaneously begin to get pulled towards this creature, and you're now directly up against it, smashed against its mouth as it's trying to chomp at you. It can also make a bite attack this turn. So Korvac does a
Korvac's dead. Thanks for that.
Oh,
Thanks.
burn. That's a 19 to hit.
Just barely.
Just barely? Okay. As it does snap down and bite onto ya. 23 points of piercing damage. As now it's reeled you in. You're still grappled by both of these tendrils, as now it's just gnashing away at you.
That hurt.
Yeah, it did. Okay, and then you watch as the ballista in front of you, Talgroth, it begins to charge, and then it releases and shoots directly at the ballista in front of it.
And ricochets off the wall and hits you for double damage.
You watch as the ballista on the other side of the hallway just bursts into flames, and pieces of wood just scatter and shatter across the wall as it's destroyed.
yeah!
So Gideon, it's your go as you're being held onto this creature, now half eaten by it, and you are grappled by two different sources at the moment.
That's cool. I'm going to use my bonus action to use my Boots of the Winding Path and teleport 15 feet back.
Sweet.
And
Easy
then
enough.
use my movement to run back up to it to punch it.
Okay. Yeah, you
I just don't want to
teleport
be grappled.
in a swift motion. You teleport backwards and then just continue running forwards and just punch it right in its stony stalagmite face.
Yeah, I want right in the eye. Right? The one.
Yeah, do it.
I'm going to make 2. So I'm going to roll
Totally. Yeah.
twice. One's a 3 on the dice. The other one's a 24.
24 hits.
4 points of thunder damage right in its eyeball.
Nice.
Yeah, you guys look at me, and out of the teeth marks that are in my armor, you see blood and a little oil coming out of the prosthetic arm side of me
He sprang a leak.
as I'm hurting.
Maven, sure go.
I'm going to jump up as high as I can in the air and meet my spiritual weapon partner in the air, and we're both going to come down on the monster, and I want to downward thrust the Spawny Kelmore onto it.
Okay. Totally. Yeah, do it.
Tag me in.
Dirty 20.
30-20 definitely hits.
Nice. It's going to be 15 points of damage, and then I'm going to roll for my spiritual weapon also.
Okay.
Oh, natural 20.
Yeah, that hits.
Oh, that's 20. I can say it even more casually.
15 on that one, too.
15. Nice. This thing is looking rough as now you can see the one eye in its face just frantically looking around the room as it's just at this point trying to devour what it can before it dies. On the Drow's turn, you watch as a number of orbs begin to form out of the Drow's shoulders, and you hear him muttering an incantation. Does anybody here speak Undercommon?
Oh, no.
Everybody hears him speaking an obvious incantation, but as you're hearing him speak, it's broken forms of words. All these orbs form and strike into this creature, and you watch as it leaves small pits across this creature's face as its arms begin to limply move out across the ground. This roper in front of you is dead. At this point, we're out of initiative, as occasionally the catapult or the ballista does charge up and fire into the wall on the side, but it doesn't appear to be moving at this point.
Oh man, thanks, Maven.
The drow looks at all of you. You all owe me again. And he reaches into his bag and pulls out what looks like a handful of like silvery dust.
Wait, don't go. This is my friend that saved me in the other room.
Who are you?
He motions with his hand in an upwards pattern, and as he moves his hand up, the dust obscures his body, and as the dust falls, there's no more character in front of you, but you hear a voice in the same position. I will let you know soon enough.
You owe me.
I said wait.
Well, I'm sure that won't haunt us at all.
You hear the sound of footsteps, not walking away, but walking up the wall next to you, and continuing out of slight hearing range, except for those of you who are a little bit more perceptive, and you can hear the footsteps continuing on the ceiling above you.
I'm going to go pick up Ook. I want to inspect that body, too, on the ground.
Yeah, same.
Okay.
Or I guess you could do that since I'm going to...
Yeah, make a whoever's nearest who would like to can make an investigation check.
All right, 15-year-old intelligence. 11.
I don't know why I made you roll, because it's pretty obvious what she has on her.
Bones. It's just bones.
Looking over, you can definitely see an impact mark on the front of her body where she was definitely struck by one of these ballista, and it made like an explosion around her. But looking over, it looks like she's been here for a very long time, as there's not any flesh left. You can see a few tooth marks across her. You imagine probably the roper in this cavern had eaten what he wanted of her. Mm-hmm. But you do find a pouch on her containing 5 gold pieces.
That's just as much as I lost.
And you can see inside of her pack, you also find a pair of rubber boots and various book logs depicting various mineral sales of copper being sold from Waterdeep to Undermountain and vice versa. You also find 3 what appear to be torn diary entries.
You guys, I found a diary. The entries are pretty crazy. This person apparently like worked under Halistar as like an apprentice, and there was like some other ones. Look, listen to this. I'm just gonna read them all real quick because why not? Day 1. Halistar has granted me access to this abandoned mine in the arcane chambers. Finally, I have access to all the components needed for my experiments. Day 3. I no longer trust the other apprentices. What they see as mysticism, I know to be science. I can't stand their incantations and their mutterings any longer. If any of them try to intrude on my laboratory again, they're in for a shocking surprise. Day 10. With lightning and copper wires, I created a pack of ghouls. Hal was not impressed. He says I'm not ready for Dweomorcor.
That was pretty good.
Nailed it.
That was
Did
actually
I
pretty
actually?
good.
Yeah. Is that Skyrim?
It sounds
Skyrim
like it. It's not.
Dwemer?
Dweomorcor.
Dweomorcor. He says I'm
It's
not
very
ready
similar.
for the Dweomorcor and its arcane secrets. I'll show him. His flesh golem has given me an idea for a trap more devious than any Hal could devise. Lightning. Is there anything it can't do? So whoever whoever this was,
I tend to agree.
had a laboratory, and they were getting stuff out of a place called the Arcane Chambers, and they were working under Halistar, who I remember Mr. Red or someone saying built this whole place down here, and those mirrors that we found.
Is there anything in there about a shield?
No, take a look.
Let me see.
So it sounds like we've got
Chambers.
some mad scientists.
Is your arm still leaking?
Yeah, I'm hurting. I'm quite bloody. At this point, once I've gotten the sample too, I'm going to take some time to mend the holes in my armor.
Okay.
And just kind of patch
Yeah.
up my armor.
Totally. Yeah. Easy enough.
As
But I'm definitely bloodied and
Maven's
oiled.
listening to this, and as everyone's leaving, I'm gonna go up to Orion. Maven's gonna be. He's gonna like step lightly here because he doesn't want with like his tone because he doesn't want to make him feel bad or anything. But I'm just gonna say, Orion, I can't help but to notice a trend in our last few encounters. Now I know you just did a whole encounter yourself. From what you say, it was hard. I'm not saying I don't believe you or anything, but in order for things to change, you have to change. For things to get better, you have to become better.
Are you talking about like when I turned into that ape? Like change into like a...
No. I'm talking about how you approach anything. As you just saw with the last room, I'm not always going to be there to pick you up. If I'm there, I'll do my best. I don't want to lose any more people.
You hear a voice chime in from overhead. He's right, you know.
Who said that?
It was the familiar voice of the drow.
Oh.
I assumed it was the
Is he
drow.
just like on the
Followed you.
ceiling or
He's just
something?
like peeping Thomas. Like, what the?
You don't know. He's invisible.
Following me now, I guess.
Each and every one of you would not be alive if it were not for one person in this room.
And I'm standing right here.
You've let Hallister toy with your minds. Who among you know of the Xanathar?
I mean, we know. Yeah, I guess so. Not much. We met some of them.
You say you know of the Xanathar, only briefly, and yet here you are assaulting one of their own members. It seems you're in deeper than you say, yes?
What are you talking about?
This one, he motions to the goblin.
Oh, he had to come in. That's fine. That's not a big deal at all.
It seems there's a history, yes?
Yeah, he betrayed us because we thought he was working for the Xanathars, and then he betrayed us, so we don't know where our allegiance lies with him.
Well, what say you to a deal? I have a proposition. I have a reward I could offer, and all I ask for...
dwarves just look at each other like,
All I ask for in return are the head of 2 Xanathar leaders. They incessantly assault the drow in our houses, and we wish to have little to do with them.
Okay, this is the second time something like this has come up. What we care about, the shield and purple squid guys.
Pretty much.
Do you know anything about those two things?
No, and if that is all you care about, then I wish you well.
Look, tomorrow we're going to come across an orc that says, hey, I don't like this drow clan. It's just the way things go down here. No one likes anyone.
Do we like orcs?
I don't like anyone down here except for you guys and that tree guy that likes to give us stuff.
You know, where is that guy?
He's probably going to be behind the door.
I really need to talk to him.
About what?
Just something.
I don't think he talks. And that's why I like him.
I need to figure out more about that guy. And this door here, it's clearly dwarven. It's got a whole relief on it.
You can see a number of symbols across this door. You can see axes and swords almost like ceremoniously placed in an X mark. You can also see dwarves pushing a mine cart, forging, singing, drinking ale, all manner of things.
Do I recognize the two dwarves?
Oh, you can make a history check, actually.
I'm going to history so hard here.
I'm not sure what's behind it.
Louder.
Sounds like something pretty loud.
Might have been worth it, boys. Except that's intelligence, right? Okay, it's just 16.
Then you're a man of faith.
16? You recognize these dwarves as dwarves of Clan Battlehammer. Probably the most prolific clan of dwarves within all of Faerun. They mostly reside to the north under the leadership of a dwarf by the name of Brunner. You know, they're known for being stalwart warriors, probably among the most honorable of dwarves.
You don't recognize the clan?
It doesn't matter what the clan is.
Sure it does.
Sorry, unless I see another living dwarf besides the one chained up back there that we still
Which
have
was
to...
yours?
How do you know that?
Didn't you said that?
Did I? Oh, yeah.
I think you did.
Probably did.
You all watch as a shimmering purple barrier at the ceiling where you now see a drow standing as he's dropped his invisibility. He steps through this shimmering purple, whatever it is, blob and disappears out of sight.
Anyway, maybe we should try to open the door. Or either way, we got to go back for that guy,
All right, so
clan or not.
I agree. One thing. Last time we touched a really big door, something happened to me. I didn't think it worked.
You want me to touch it then?
No, I
Okay.
don't. Can I thaumaturgy it open?
Oh.
I guess that works.
It's not locked.
Yeah.
It would blow open.
Yeah, okay, so this is ridiculous. You thaumaturgy on the doors and they really quickly like grind open. And in the interior, yeah, all of you are like screaming.
It's a
holding
library on
your
the other
shut.
side. Like,
All of you see immediately what you're granted with is 4 huge skeletons of dragons.
oh.
Each dragon positioned in a ceremonial pose inside of this room. The walls you see are covered in markings that once depicted dwarves pushing mine carts. Now their faces, their arms, various pieces of their bodies have been removed and replaced with tentacles that wag loosely from the sides of the walls into the room. And as you're all standing looking into this horrendous visage of a room, we'll call the session for the night.
Oh, man. Can we take a long rest in there?
Probably should have taken a long rest in here.
Oh my god.
That does it for this episode down in the Dungeon of the Wacky Wizard. If you had fun, please head on over to patreon.com/thelazybardcast to show your support. And don't forget to like, comment, share, rate, review, and subscribe wherever you are listening from. Next episode available May 12th on the Lazy BardCast.
You've probably all heard of Undercommon before, heard that it's common, but it's like a different dialect of
But
common.
under.
Yeah, but a little,
it's
a little
Australian.
under, mate.
Oh,
It's
boy.
like English, but it's Australian.
Yeah. As he's muttering, put some shrimp on the barbie. Or however an Australian sounds, I don't know.